Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending our RiverWoods Exeter 101 program today, the middle of October, this wonderful fall day. So over the next hour, we're going to have a chance to learn a little bit more about RiverWoods Exeter. So me and my colleague, Chrissy Katie, who is one of our senior living sales counselors, will be taking you through the community, telling you a little bit about the amenities and services about RiverWoods Exeter today. And we'll give everyone a chance for some questions at the end of the program. I am Dan Witham. I'm a senior living sales counselor for the RiverWoods Group, representing Exeter today. And my colleague, Chrissy Katie, in the middle here is our other sales counselor. And then Lisa Clark, who is our sales manager at RiverWoods Exeter, is on vacation, but she will be returning soon. So if you are working with her, now you all have a visual of us three that will be helping you or assisting you moving forward. For today's program, just a note, everyone will be on mute, just so you're all aware. If you do have any questions, and we certainly love to have lots of questions, I would tell you to wait until you go through a little bit of the program because some of the questions will be answered during our presentation. But there is a Q&A box generally at the bottom of your screen. So if you'd like to submit your questions in that area, and again, based upon how much time we have at the end of the program, we will do our best to answer as many questions as possible. We also love suggestions on how we can improve our programming or future topic ideas. So if you do think of anything that might be beneficial to other people that are in the same situation as you, certainly feel free to send them along to RiverWoods Exeter or to your senior sales counselor. So getting started today, we always love to start about our mission and our founders because our community would not be here today if it wasn't for these two ladies that are featured here. Our RiverWoods Dream started back in the 80s with our two founders here. You can see Mariana Hatch of Durham, New Hampshire, and Rosemary Coffin of Exeter, New Hampshire. So they were both working individually at the time of really trying to find a better way of aging for the population. They got together around a table that is now actually featured at our Woods Library to really find a better sense of community as people were aging. So our two founders here created that dream almost 30 years ago, well, over 30 years ago when they were working on finding RiverWoods. And then in 1994, their dream came true. RiverWoods Exeter opened the Woods campus in 1994. And then now, almost 30 years later, RiverWoods Durham, our third community, opened in 2019 of November. So these wonderful ladies were our start of our mission and the future of RiverWoods as it is today. And speaking of RiverWoods today, we just like to explain a little bit about RiverWoods and the RiverWoods Group. So we are a family of communities. Currently, we are the largest not-for-profit continuing care retirement communities in northern New England. So currently we have RiverWoods Exeter, which we're featuring today. We also have RiverWoods Manchester on the northwest side of Manchester near Hooksett, New Hampshire, and then RiverWoods Durham that opened in November of 2019. We are overseen by a volunteer board of directors, which is our CCR board, which is really our system board, which focuses on operations in the community. We also have a system CEO who is very involved in overseeing all of our communities. We are part of, we call the RiverWoods Group. So think of the RiverWoods Group as a professional fee-based service group. So it provides services for all three of our current communities, such as marketing, quality control, finance, information technology, and human resources. So think of them as a fee-based shared services that really assist our communities in running the daily operations. They also fund at-risk projects in communities and our new ventures as we're seeking new opportunities for the RiverWoods system. And then we have our system board, which focuses on a mission and future growth, as we are always looking to move forward our mission with RiverWoods that started back in the 80s. Each community is financially independent, and that is important to know. So each community, RiverWoods Exeter, Manchester, and Durham, has their own finance model. And again, they can also provide additional funding to the RiverWoods Group based upon asset availability. RiverWoods Exeter, as it is known today, again, founded in 1994, is made up of 3 communities or neighborhoods as we look at them here in this picture. The Woods community was established in 1994, our very first community. It's a two-story or two-level community featuring 201 apartments. 10 years later, in 2004, became the Ridge, which is on White Oak Drive. That is 81 apartments and then 11 outstanding or outlying cottages. And then our Boulders community 6 years later in 2010, which is 75 apartments and 24 cottages. Again, we'll go into more detail about each of these communities and all the amenities that are provided shortly. Important to note when you are looking, and many of you are new to looking at continuing care retirement communities, is accreditation. Accreditation is a very valuable aspect of our community at RiverWoods Exeter. We are accredited by a non-for-profit accreditation group of rehab facilities called CARF, so C-A-R-F. So it's a nonprofit accreditor in the health and human services worldwide. So we are one of only 10% of CCRCs that are accredited in the United States. RiverWoods has been accredited over the last many years, and we are in the top 3% of communities in the nationwide accreditation pool. If you'd like to learn more about accreditation, certainly you can check it out at www.carf or carf.org. Talking a little bit about who we are at RiverWoods Exeter, we are basically a life care community or continuing care retirement community, or basically a form of long-term care insurance. Many of you today will probably have some questions about long-term care insurance. We'll get to those a little later on in the program. So think of RiverWoods as an insurance product versus a real estate product, that we are insuring your care for the balance of your life as you move in as an independent resident and then transition to other levels of care, whether it's assisted living, nursing care, or memory support. The nice part of it is you pay an entrance fee, which has a very good refundability of 90% at RiverWoods Exeter. So it's very good for asset or estate preservation, passing that down to family members or community, and a predictable monthly service fee, no matter what level of care that you would be going to. Again, we are a type A type of contract in our continuing care retirement community, which is really the best form of insurance. So again, as you move forward and transition to any level of care, your predictable monthly service fee will stay with you. We'd like to talk, when we're looking at RiverWoods Exeter, a lot about our healthcare resources, because many of you would be looking at RiverWoods, even though you're independent, but down the road looking at what those healthcare resources are for you in the community. So we support our current and future residents' care needs, no matter what those care needs will be. We do have a wellness clinic that serves all of our independent residents that are in the community. The wellness clinic is staffed by a nurse practitioner and also an RN, available to our residents Monday through Friday for walk-in hours, and then basic services, everything from medication management, wound care. They do flu shots in the community. Of course, this time of year is very important. Really take care of our independent residents before they would ever transition, and are very much working with them during the process of transition to other forms of healthcare. We do have assisted living apartments when we move to our supportive living or healthcare. Those are for singles or couples, all private suites, including memory support and nursing care at RiverWoods Exeter. We also offer respite care. Respite care would be by independent residents. So if you are in short-term need of some recovery from a surgery, operation, or other needs, you can spend time in our healthcare wing until you can go back to your independent residence. So very important and a really great feature. And those days are unlimited in our community. We are overseen by a medical director, Dr. Timothy Keenan of the local area. So he oversees our healthcare wings here at RiverWoods Exeter. And again, most services are covered by your monthly service fee, no matter what level of healthcare that you would go to. When we're talking about healthcare at RiverWoods Exeter, we are in a changing pattern at this time. So we'd like to kind of share where we are now and where things are going in the next 3 to 5 years. So as of today, we currently operate 3 healthcare lodges or healthcare centers, one at each of the 3 campuses, the Woods, Ridge, and Boulders. We currently offer all forms of assisted living, long-term care with memory support and nursing care, short-term rehab, and also respite care that we talked about. As we are looking at our current plan, we still face, like many in the world today, staffing inefficiencies, staffing challenges. limited amenities, and our buildings have been around now for some almost 30 years. So we are in the process of evaluating and what is looking forward at this time. As we look forward to the future at RiverWoods Exeter, we are in the process of the next 3 to 5 years of centralizing our healthcare to one opportunity versus 3 locations. So one new brand new lodge that would house our assisted living, long-term care, short-term rehab, memory support, and nursing care residences. Again, all private suites in the community. It's a brand new design that is featuring more natural forms, open space. We call it biophilic design, which really incorporates nature into the development. State-of-the-art technology, bringing everything up to today's standards and what our residents expect and deserve, and then really helping out with our staffing, looking forward into the future. Staffing one healthcare center is much easier than staffing 3 locations. We also have a great little picture design of what our new centralized healthcare renderings look like. The drive up in the top left, kind of matching the current scape of a lower story up to 3-story building. And then the bottom left would be showing you the courtyard, more open concept, open design, more natural space, and then interior on the right, showing again more greenery, open space for residents to enjoy. So it's not your average healthcare center, it's the new state-of-the-art, really what our residents expect and enjoy going forward. We're going to talk a little bit about next is service and amenities at RiverWoods Exeter. We'll touch some of these programs a little bit more forward as we go, but I wanted to introduce some of the programs at this time. RiverWoods service and amenities will include flexible dining program. We'll talk a little bit more how the dining program works shortly, but dining program serving lunch and dinner in our communities, and we have a variety of options for our residents to dine. We have indoor fitness centers, or some people consider it a gym, at 3 of our campuses, including indoor pools at each campus. So we have 3 indoor pools, 3 fitness centers, and then also fitness classrooms that are different fitness classes that would take place Monday through Saturday. We offer a variety of entertainment and cultural opportunities. Our residents find time to be very busy in our communities, whether it's listening to guest speakers that come in from the outside, other residents, entertainment opportunities, bringing in live entertainment, whether it's a group or a soloist, a variety of different programs, and then off-site adventures, going to local gardens, museums, the ocean. We keep our residents very busy and active every day. We say just join 1 or 2 committees when you come in and you'll be very busy almost weekly. We have scheduled courtesy transportation that runs from our community in a 20-mile radius. 20-mile radius for our transportation is really factored around looking at doctor's appointments, local medical appointments for our residents. So you can schedule transportation as certainly as you age and you don't feel like driving any longer, having that local transportation for those medical appointments is really essential to our residents. We also provide transportation to the local train station, the Amtrak Down Easter in downtown Exeter, or the bus station C&J bus over in Seabrook. So if you are still a person that is traveling, would like a sense of adventure, having that transportation to get to those services is very vital. And including grocery store visits and local stores like Target and Walmart that are in the local area, so our residents have full access to all those services. We also provide housekeeping on a bi-weekly basis. So housekeeping will be scheduled with you every 2 weeks in your independent living apartment or cottage. And that includes our use of flat linens and towels, so they will launder those and bring those back to your apartment or cottage as well. Best part about looking at RiverWoods Exeter is no more interior or exterior maintenance. So if an appliance breaks, we repair or fix that. A light bulb goes out. No more snow removal in the winter. No more finding someone to repair anything in your home or apartment. We will take care of that for you. Utilities are also included. That would be for anything from water to electricity. Your heat, air conditioning is all included at RiverWoods Exeter. We do bundle additional services such as cable and landline telephone and internet. That is a monthly additional fee to your monthly service charge. And we'll talk a little bit about that later in the program. Wellness clinics, as I mentioned earlier, are staffed by our nurse practitioner and our RN, available to independent residents Monday through Friday. And then we have 24-hour security in our community, and that also includes emergency response system called e-call pendants that residents can wear around their neck or on their wrist. So if you ever need of immediate assistance, either a slip or a fall, or just having a difficult time, you press that e-call pendant and someone will be there in about 5 minutes. Those are for all of our areas of our community inside of our apartments, cottages, or independent space. I'm going to talk a little bit about dining, as that is a very essential part of living in a community. We have a point system that is at RiverWoods Exeter. So our residents have a lot of flexibility in how they can use their dining. We start all residents on the full dining program that is included in your monthly service charge, which is about 18 points per day. Again, we serve lunch and dinner as our primary meals. Then we also have coffee and pastries in our communities in the morning. Residents have options of 5 dining areas, 1 at each of our communities, plus a couple additional outdoor spaces. You can do in dining in our main dining rooms, takeout. You can have guest meals, catering, grocery items in our marketplace. So you can use your dining points really as flexible dining points. The nice part is they do carry over at the end of the month, so you never lose your points. And if you're a resident that chooses to eat 1 meal a day, can also do takeout, so a lot of variety of options. We work with our residents on any dietary preferences. So if you are a person that has dietary restrictions, such as gluten-free, vegetarians, vegans, all those items, we certainly work with our residents on those particular needs. And then most of our food is very locally sourced. So we really ensure the freshest ingredients for our guests and our residents here in our community. I'm going to show you a little bit of what the dining looks like. This is our Boulders dining room, the beautiful fireplace that now has started to run this time of year. So beautiful high ceilings, almost a lodge feel. And you can see more of a formal look to our dining. We do not require reservations or dress code, but just really comfortable for our residents to come in and out. And then we have a beautiful outdoor spot here at the Boulders as well. This is our newly updated Ridge bistro area, so a little more casual dining. So again, we have different dining options based upon the campus or neighborhood that you'd be part of. The bistro offers no table linens, but really a little more casual style where residents can order food and the food is brought right to your table. Otherwise, it is tableside dining service in our main dining rooms at the Woods, Ridge, and Boulders. We also like to talk a little bit about our country stores. I think of these as convenience stores. This is our Woods Country Store, located at the Woods in Crawford Village. Country stores are resident run, so our residents will volunteer their time to maintain the store. This is available to all residents in the community, especially as residents need a certain singular item or a few grocery items. Instead of going to the local stores or getting on transportation, they can just walk down the hall to the country store. So we have a variety of locally made items, some resident items, some seasonal items, and then everyday staples, as you can see here in the picture, from cereal, paper towels, a can of soup, laundry supplies, plastic wrap, whatever it may be. And then some varied food items as well. We do have some food refrigeration, and then we also carry some ice cream products, some little ice cream novelties, including Klondike bars. So a great opportunity for residents to volunteer a little time, have the convenience of having a store right in the community without going outside. I'm now going to turn it over to my colleague, Chrissy Katie, who is going to take you inside the community, talk a little bit about our community spaces, and then some of our apartments and cottages. So Chrissy, off to you.
Thank you, Dan. It's my pleasure to be here today. And as Dan mentioned, I'm going to start by walking you through some of our apartment types and talking about some of the activities we offer. This next slide here is showing you one of our largest gathering spaces here, which seats up to 200 people. It's called Boulders Hall in our Boulders community. It's where we host lectures, performances, resident parties, other resident events and concerts, and also community updates for both residents and staff. You can choose from a wide variety of events that are listed on our bi-weekly calendar, which each resident will receive bi-weekly. And all of our 3 campuses have large spaces to accommodate resident gatherings. you're looking here at one of our libraries. This is the library at our Woods campus. Also, you're not looking at the table that Dan mentioned. I think it's on the other side of the library, but we do have the table where Mariana Hatch and the board used to meet before they created RiverWoods. Each campus has a library, so Woods Ridge and Boulders all have one. They are interconnected with each other, and they are staffed by our resident volunteers. And each library is overseen by our resident library committees. So they have a budget and get together to discuss what new books will be ordered for each library. On top of that, as an Exeter resident, we have a wonderful town library in downtown Exeter. So you would also have privileges at the Exeter Town Library. Moving on to, of course, each campus has wonderful amenities for staying active. No matter what level of fitness you are, we make it easy for you. You can take a few laps in one of our indoor pools. We have a pool at each of our campuses. Work out in one of our fitness centers. Use one of our wonderful team members from our fitness team to work out and instruct. And participate in one of our wonderful classes. We have over 60 classes a week, ranging from yoga, Zumba, Pilates, strength and balance, all sorts of wonderful classes. We also have a walking group, a cycling group, and hiking groups as well. And we are our campuses are connected by over 4 miles of hiking or snowshoe trails. You are looking here at our Boulders pool, which is a wonderful pool for lap swimming. It's about 20 yards long, and both our Boulders and Woods pool are equally in length. So this is a great pool for lap swimming. All of our pools are wonderful for exercise classes and also volleyball games. We have a group of residents who started aqua volleyball, and they meet Wednesday afternoons. It's become quite popular. We also keep our pools at a comfortable 88 degrees. This is a view of our Boulders cardio room. And so as you can see, as we're going through these slides, you have no excuse to get your 30 minutes in of cardio. If it's interactive sports that you enjoy, we have 2 pickleball courts located at Gooch Park, which is our own recreational park located centrally to our 3 campuses. This is a picture of 2 of our happy pickleball players. We originally only had 1 pickleball court in that park, and there was such a demand. So at the request of our residents, we added another one. Last month, our pickleballers had a big pickleball tournament, invited other residents and staff, did some instructional events, and also had a tournament and full with pizza and beer, I believe. So there are endless opportunities here to explore your creative side. We have at least 1 art space in each community. This particular photo is of one of our residents who hadn't painted in many years, but because of all the creativity in our campuses, he was motivated by other artists to pick it up again. And I will see him in the art studio every morning now, working on his craft. We also have regional artists who come in and teach classes to our residents. And in addition to painting in some of these art studios, we have Nantucket basket weaving, we have a pottery studio, and a wonderful wood shop. This is the full shot of one of our Woods art studios, and it's particularly popular for our painters. As you can see, there are actually 2 double French doors that let in a lot of natural light here. So you can see some setups of some of our painters on their easels. And in the left bottom corner, you can actually see one of our Nantucket basket projects. But there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of large range of creativity here. This is a picture of our wonderful team of woodworkers, or part of our team. There are men and women who are both very creative. active group of people who create everything from the signs and benches for our trails to canoe paddles, cheese boards, wooden bowls, and furniture. So as you can see, every creative aspect is covered here. We also have a very important musical group at RiverWoods, and we have small instrumental groups, women's barbershop quartet, a recorder group that was started by one of our residents who wanted to learn how to play the recorder. We have a string quartet. We have residents who play the ukulele. We also have a wonderful RiverWoods chorus. So if there are any men out there who are bass singers, we're looking for basses out there. But we happen to at RiverWoods Exeter get the beneficiary of all that talent as well, because our residents will often perform at our RiverWoods holiday events. We also love our gardens. So if you're a talented gardener out there, you have a place here from us. We have raised garden beds for all of our residents, all 3 communities that you can reserve. If you know, a lot of residents are coming from beautiful homes with beautiful gardens and want to continue exercising their green thumb. So if you love to garden, you can continue to do so either in one of the great raised garden beds or in our greenhouse at the woods. Alongside our landscaping team, our residents make every effort to practice organic landscaping techniques and are committed to exploring ways to be even greener in the future. And we are proud to be New Hampshire's largest arboretum. So you can feel free to wander around our outdoors here and see over 300 species of trees. One of our unique features at RiverWoods Exeter is that we have our beehives. So 2 of our employees were inspired to become beekeepers and go to beekeeping school. And they work alongside our resident beekeepers that who live here as well. We've been so successful that we now sell our honey in our country stores. And on top of that, we have a small barn with a few goats that we inherited. I'm just gonna turn on my light. Sorry about that. So now we're going to start looking towards our apartments and features of our cottages. We have more than 40 different floor plans across all 3 of our campuses, everything from a studio all the way to our cottages. And I'll be showing you some examples of the different apartments and cottages in various sizes. One of the things I want to point out as you're looking at the different options is that we have the solariums in each of our apartments, which lets in a lot of light. The apartments all come fully equipped with fully equipped kitchens with also our individually controlled heating and air conditioning. We are Wi-Fi enabled. Our apartment comes with a small storage cage. And as Dan mentioned, 24-hour emergency response and safety systems. We have guest rooms available at all 3 of our campuses. And we do have outside parking. Each resident is assigned a parking space outdoors, but we also have different indoor or covered parking options at each campus with varied pricing. Right here, you're looking at one of our cottages, the outside of one of our cottages at the Boulders. Let's see. So this is one of our Trillium apartments, a large 1-bedroom at our Woods campus. In the background there, you can see the lovely solarium letting all that light in. It also gives you an example of some of our new choices for personalizations. We've got luxury vinyl plank in the common space here. Very nice option of 4 different neutral paint colors. And as you look to the next slide in the same apartment, this is the view of the kitchen, which we are featuring the open kitchen concept with stone countertops, stainless steel appliances. And when we need to change out the cabinets, we are using a lovely shaker style white painted cabinet. we're looking here at one of our Ridge apartments, a Magnolia, which is one of our 2-bedroom apartments. And as you can see, it features a beautiful solarium with a generous living and dining room space. And as you go again to the next slide, it's a different view of the same apartment. That's our kitchen view. And again, it's a Magnolia at our Ridge campus, featuring a beautiful kitchen with a generous counter space. I love this photo. This is of a a Cypress 2-bedroom apartment at our Boulders campus. And it's always fun to see how our residents create their homes, how the different the furniture that they bring in to create a lovely home here at RiverWoods. We use designers to create a wonderful neutral palette so that residents can use our neutral colors and then use their furniture and paintings to create their own individual space. Often coming from larger homes, it's nice when they can surround themselves with their favorite pieces. You're looking here at an Elm apartment at the Boulders, which is another 2-bedroom in our Boulders campus. This is the solarium area, so it shows you that that is a really nice area for a nice sitting area for residents. And as you can see from this picture, we are pet friendly. The kitchens in the cottages are quite ample, and you can see here we're looking at a spruce cottage at the Boulders, a kitchen at a spruce cottage at the Boulders, and this is their kitchen, newly renovated. With beautiful cabinets, stone countertops, luxury vinyl plank on the flooring, granite countertops, and stainless steel appliances. So you're not only going to spend just all of your time at RiverWoods, you're actually going to want to know a little bit more about our community around us, surrounding us. So we are surrounded by 200 acres near the Exeter River. We're right now near downtown Exeter. We have easy access to Portsmouth, about 25 minutes away from Portsmouth, about 30 minutes or 25 minutes from Manchester, an hour from Portland, an hour from Boston. We have train services to Boston. We're about 20 minutes away from the New Hampshire seacoast, and less than an hour away from our mountains and lakes region. So if you're not a local, I do invite you to explore our seacoast online and get a feel of what this community has to offer. As you are planners, I'm sure you've already started looking into the tax benefits of New Hampshire. But as you can see from this slide, I'll highlight that we have no general sales tax, no personal income tax, no capital gains. We're top ranked in the New Hampshire states as being, or New England states as being on the lower tax rates, and 5th lowest tax burden in the country. So we're just showing a little summary of our pricing in this slide. So, we have a wide range of apartment choices, starting from studios, which are about 600 square feet, to our cottages, which are about 2,000 square feet. This slide, I know it's going to be going by quickly. If you're interested in getting some more pricing, we will be reaching out to you, or you can reach out to one of your sales counselors, and we're happy to give you more specific pricing. This gives you a taste of the square footage, what your entrance fee would be, and monthly service fee range. Also, please note the second person fee at the bottom there would just be added to that first person entrance fee and monthly service fee. And now I am going to turn this back over to Dan.
Thank you very much, Chrissy. We just want to remind you, if you have any questions, please remember to submit them in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, as we do love questions. We are going to cover a few more slides and then get to questions momentarily. While you're doing or thinking about those questions, you can see in this picture here, these are our bocce ball players. We have 2 bocce ball courts, one at the Ridge and Woods in our community. In a tradition at RiverWoods Exeter is the striped socks, as you can see. So a really fun group of people. A lot of our events are based around fun, so it's a great opportunity to meet other residents, maybe do something you never thought you would do, playing bocce ball, or any of other activities that take place around the community. So we're going to talk next about if you are interested in how the process would work at RiverWoods Exeter from a waitlist process to actually moving in. So from today through the future. To currently, RiverWoods Exeter has an estimated wait time of 2 to 6 years for apartments and cottages based around the floor plan style. I know that seems very intimidating to some people who might be ready to move in tomorrow, and then some of you might be saying my timeline's 10 years. So for anyone, always think of doing something before you might need it or before you think you might need it, so you can really enjoy your time living in the community. So again, currently weighted estimated time is 2 to 6 years, 1-bedroom apartments a little on the shorter side, larger 2-bedroom apartments, and some cottages on the longer side. How the process works is how to apply. The first step, if you are interested in looking at our waitlist, is a financial profile we call CDP or confidential data profile. That would determine your financial qualification for living in the community. So we look at your assets, any liabilities, and your monthly income, and factor that into your financial qualification. Once you are financially qualified, the next step is a waitlist agreement and a reservation fee. Some people know the reservation fee as a deposit. That is depending on the floor plan of style or your choice. We have a reservation fee of $25,000 to $99,000 based upon the floor plan. So they are factored into different levels. 1-bedrooms would be the smaller reservation fee, the larger cottages, the $99,000 fee. In that case, if you determine you are moving in, you get a phone call, you accept an offer and are moving into RiverWoods Exeter, your reservation fee will earn 4% simple interest. We call that an interest incentive. So something RiverWoods has done. So 4% simple annual interest on your reservation fee till the time that you become a resident. You can choose to take that money and apply it towards your entrance fee, or you can just have that refunded back to you. If you decide you're on the wait list and you determine the plans have changed, you're moving to another part of the country and not looking at RiverWoods, you would get a full refund on your reservation fee minus $1,000 cancellation fee. But again, a full refund on the larger portion, just that $1,000 cancellation fee if you did not move forward. And then it's flexible. We really like to make a note about telling our future residents or people that are interested that you tell us when you are ready to move into RiverWoods. So if you are on our wait list and you get a phone call that there is an apartment or cottage available, and you would determine whether it's your right timing or not. So you can tell your sales counselor it's not a good time. You would remain in place where you are on the wait list by your deposit, or we call reservation fee date. And you can do that as many times as you like. So no penalty if you are not ready when we give you a call. If you are interested and go forward with the process, we will have a health qualification. So we have a health assessment that all residents can live independently in the community on their own, and then an updated financial qualification. And then you would get to see the apartment and determine if you'd like to go forward. If you would decline at that time, we have the option of 3 declines before you drop to the bottom of the wait list. But we're going to remain positive here and say that you will accept an apartment on one of the first or second time offer. We are going to review some frequently asked questions, as we do get quite a few questions on a regular basis. So some of these might be questions coming through, but Chrissy and I are going to give you a few frequently asked questions. So I'll start out here. Our first question is, I have long-term care insurance, which many of our residents do, and can I use that at RiverWoods Exeter? So the answer is RiverWoods Exeter is a long-term care insurance product. So we are regulated by the state of New Hampshire Department of Insurance. So when you move to RiverWoods Exeter as an independent resident, long-term care insurance would not apply. If you do move to some form of healthcare, whether it's assisted living, memory support, or nursing care, you can open up a claim with your insurance provider, and they will reimburse you as a resident. You would still pay RiverWoods Exeter your monthly service fee, but your long-term care insurance policy can be reimbursed to you as a resident based upon the level of care. We always advise residents moving in that have a long-term care policy to at least keep that for the first year to determine whether you're going to stay in the community, which we hope you will. But if you don't, then you at least still have your long-term care insurance product. Chrissy, do you want to take the next question?
Certainly. The next question is, what happens if one partner in a couple needs a higher level of care? And that's the beauty of our CCRC, Continuing Care Retirement Community here at RiverWoods Exeter. When one partner needs more care, they can go into assisted living, nursing, or memory care, while the healthy partner will remain in your independent apartment. And so you can be in two different places, one in a private 1-bedroom assisted living apartment, and the other remaining in their independent apartment. And the only increase in your monthly service fee would be 2 meals per day in healthcare. As you only get 1 meal a day in independent living, you would have 3 meals per day in assisted living, nursing care, and memory care. And that is usually about, I think it's about $650 a month that would be added, but there would be no other charges added to your monthly service fee.
Perfect. Next question is, what if I'm not ready to move when you get the call for an apartment or cottage, and do I go to the bottom of the list? I just kind of answered that on the last slide a little bit, but just to recap that. Again, if you get a call while you're on the wait list and you are not ready, you can decline as many times as you like from a readiness factor. Again, if you do move forward and do accept an offer or decline an offer, then you can do that up to 3 times before dropping to the bottom of the list. Again, everything while you're on the wait list is by, we call your reservation fee date. We have a lot of people on our wait list, but many times when we start reaching out to people, many people are not ready, or their time frame doesn't fit the need of the apartment in that case. And I have Chrissy answer the next question as well.
Sure. The last question is, how long do I have to move in once I am offered an apartment or cottage? So in general, you can expect 60 to 90 days from the time we offer you the apartment or cottage until it is ready for occupancy. The entrance fee at that point would be due at the time of the move-in ready date. So you would pay your entrance fee at that time and also begin your monthly service fee as well. You'd be considered a resident at that point, and you would be able to utilize any of the amenities that we have, even if you're not ready to move into your apartment at that time. But it would be about a 60 to 90 day time frame based on the apartment size.
Thank you very much. We're going to tell you about a couple upcoming programs, and then Chrissy and I will start taking some questions in just a little bit here. So upcoming, we have two programs we want to let you know about today. Our first is the financial risk and rewards of choosing a continuing care retirement community. This is a RiverWoods event that is going to be taking place on Wednesday, October 25th from 1 to 2. This is an online 1-hour Zoom workshop hosted by our very own CEO of the RiverWoods Group, Justine Vogel, and then also Keith Robertson, who is a managing director with Ziegler Investment Bank. So really going to talk to you about how to evaluate the financial strengths of a community, whether it's RiverWoods or another community, and really how to know what the future healthcare costs would be and how to preserve your assets. So if you are interested, certainly you can scan the QR code that is here on the screen. So I'll leave it up for just a minute. So if anyone is interested, otherwise you can go to the riverwoodsgroup.org and go to our events page to register, or RiverWoods Exeter, site, website as well to register. So QR code here, or use the RiverWoods Group site or RiverWoods Exeter site. Again, coming up on Wednesday, October 25th, a really good program. If you are a person that likes to know the finances, which is really important to a community, I would certainly suggest you tune in. Our next program we'd like to tell you about is a program that we are putting on Wednesday, November 1st. This is an actually in-person event, so not online. So if you are in the local area or going to be in the area, and we'd like to know really about what you need to know about healthcare at RiverWoods Exeter. As I explained earlier, we are going through some transitions and looking into our new healthcare center in the next 3 to 5 years. So if you are a person that healthcare and questions about healthcare are very important to you, and you feel like you'd like an opportunity to hear people talk about it in person, this is the event for you. So we are going to have our healthcare leaders at RiverWoods Exeter. Those would people like our medical director, our VP of Health Services, our director of Social Services, our nurse practitioner. They will all be panelists speaking to you as future residents, whether you're on the wait list or a prospect. The program does include lunch. We do have a limited capacity for this program, but if you are interested, currently call the marketing office, the main line number here, or email at info@RiverWoods, RW Exeter. I should be careful to say rwexeter.org, or talk to your senior living counselor. They can register for you. So a great opportunity to meet other future residents or other prospects in person and learn a lot more about healthcare in our community. So we are going to start taking some questions. I know some of you have been really good about asking some questions. So between Chrissy and myself are going to answer some of these questions. If we don't get to your question today, don't get discouraged, because sometimes we get a lot of questions and the amount of time that we have sometimes will not dictate us answering them all. So if you don't get an answer today, certainly reach out to your senior living counselor or to the RiverWoods marketing office and we'll get an answer for you. So Chrissy, do you want to take the first question?
Sure. Is RiverWoods Exeter a non-smoking campus? Yes, it is.
Nice and easy one. That's for employees as well. So anyone, no one is allowed to smoke on the campus or the campus grounds, and that's about 200 acres at RiverWoods Exeter. So it's a pretty good amount of space. Our next question is, what is the average age of residents? We have a variety of factors in that. So we have residents that can be anywhere from 62 on up that are part of the community. Our average age currently is about 84 for RiverWoods Exeter, made up of a mixture, almost 50% couples and individuals. Out of the individuals, much more leaning towards single female. That's pretty normal in most communities. We have a lot of people moving in their mid-70s. We are seeing a structure of younger people looking at continuing care retirement communities at this time because they have dealt with parents or family members, so they know the benefits of a continuing care retirement community like ours. Perfect. Chrissy, do you want to answer the next one?
Certainly. Are apartments supported by generators in case of power failures? Yes, we are very excited that we had 3 large projects to ensure that happened at all 3 campuses. Started with the Boulders, went to the Ridge, and just completed the Woods project last spring. So yes, all of our communities are supported by generators. So if the power goes out, you have the opportunity to use anything in your apartment, in the hallways, in all of the common areas.
Including cottages too. Right?
Including cottages, yes.
I want to make sure I'm pretty sure. The next question, the question comes, I have a well-funded long-term care contract already. So yes, there are many prospects that are looking at our community that do have well-funded or very high-value long-term care insurance policies. Again, as I noted, long-term care insurance for independent residents is pretty limited unless you go into bringing in home health care into your individual apartment or cottage. Otherwise, when you transition, you can open up that claim. Everyone is faced with that decision whether to keep their long-term care insurance based upon the value or the benefit to them. Many residents, as they transition to healthcare, the average length of stay in healthcare is about 3 years, plus or minus. It's always unknown. And then some residents never even use healthcare in our system. So it's a difficult question to ever answer or give you the right answer based upon your policy, but certainly you could talk to your senior living counselor. They can go over a few more details with you about them as well. Chrissy, would you like to take the next one?
Sure. To just review again our 90% contract, we are a type A community. So the 90% contract is or entails that you would pay an entrance fee coming into the community, first person and second person. The first person entrance fee is 90% refundable to your estate. If you were to leave here or pass away, and it would go into, to your estate. That ensures that your monthly service fee that you have, first person and second person, will remain the same as you transition into the different levels of care. So, you know that if you're paying a certain fee in independent living, two of you are in the apartment together, one stays in the independent apartment and somebody has to go into healthcare, you're still paying that same monthly service fee that you started paying when you were moving into independent living. There are cost increases yearly, but you do not pay any fees for service as you transition into the different levels of care.
Thank you. Another comment too is RiverWoods Exeter is has two additional contract types, sometimes available for residents looking at alternative contracts. One is a 50% refundable contract, which would lower your monthly service fee by a percentage based upon the youngest person's age. And then we have a 0% or declining balance contract. So for those who are not looking for asset preservation or would be looking more to use that entrance fee, those other contract types are available. So just speak to your senior living counselor. Next question is about monthly service fees and are they tax deductible medical expenses? So Chrissy touched a little bit upon this earlier. So the non-refundable portion of your entrance fee is considered a tax deduction in the year that you pay it. Again, everyone's tax situation is very different. So please consult your financial counselor, financial planner, or accountant to talk about those features. And then currently, every year in January, RiverWoods will send out to all the current residents an update on the monthly service fee deductions. So currently, it's 33% of your monthly service fee at RiverWoods Exeter would be considered a future medical expense or tax deduction in that particular case. So there are some wonderful tax benefits living at RiverWoods Exeter, along with the New Hampshire tax benefits that Chrissy talked about earlier. Would you like to take the next one, Chrissy?
Sure. The financial qualification process defined somewhere? No, we don't have any definitive answers as far as what you need to have a certain apartment. If you're interested or concerned about finances, you're certainly welcome to complete one of our confidential data profiles. That would be entered into one of our programs and given to our finance team to assess. And it assumes that you're coming in today. So if you're on the younger side, you might have a different qualification as, if you waited 5 years and got qualified for, apartment sizes. But you can find out through, just filling out one of our CDP's confidential data profiles. We would let you know what you qualified for if you were interested in that.
Great, thank you so much. Next question is, can you provide details on health qualifications? So RiverWoods does not have any health disqualifiers. So if you are interested and you come for a tour and want to join the wait list, there is no disqualifiers and no health assessment necessary to join the wait list at that time. The health assessment would come at time of an offer. What that would mean to qualify to live independently in the community, a resident or a couple, if there's two people, would need to have a health qualification that is done with our nurse practitioner, one of our 3 nurse practitioners in our community, to assess that you are able to live independently. That is both cognitive and physical. So cognitive, that you have the ability to live alone or with a partner in an independent living apartment situation. And then from physical side, can you walk up a flight of stairs? Can you, some basic things for residents to live on their own independently without needing assisted living or other forms of healthcare in that particular case. Residents that are on the wait list do have the option of coming in for a health assessment at any time if they're worried about a change in life or a recent operation, surgery, or healthcare condition that might them not qualify. Certainly they can do so. And we do work with residents if they did not qualify at time of the offer on alternatives in the community, whether that's going directly or called directed into some form of healthcare. I'm going to let Chrissy answer the next question, if you could.
Dan, I think I'm going to throw that back to you because I don't actually understand the question.
Okay, sure. Not a problem. Can you explain a downgrade finances and one partner passes away? So if one person passes away, the second monthly service fee would go away. Really, that's the change in finances. The other person would maintain paying that first person monthly service fee based upon wherever they are, what apartment style. We do have an internal move policy, so sometimes people will consider downgrading from a large cottage to a smaller independent living apartment. Certainly that's something residents can do, but generally the only change in finances would be that second person monthly service fee would go away. The next question, timeline for consolidation of the healthcare center or campus. Currently estimated 3 to 5 years. We are certainly going to keep future residents or anyone updated as soon as we have additional details and information. The current plan is going to be near the Ridge campus for the location, but as soon as we have more, we certainly will be sharing that, of course, with residents first, and then future residents, and then prospects. Next question is, if I run out of money, can you tap the equity in my deposit to pay monthly service? Yes, the answer to that. Clearly, when residents move in, they're financially qualified. For any reason, if you should run out of money, not due to any misuse of your funds, you could use that 90% deposit, some of that money. If that went through, then clearly we have basically a benefit to residents, a beneficiary fund that would take care of a resident living in the community for the balance of their life. Again, once you sign that contract, you are with us for life, unless there's some misuse of funds in that particular case.
It's
Christy, Dr.
I'll take the next one, Dan. Do we need local doctors and dentists? Yes, we have our nurse practitioner here in our wellness clinic for your benefit as independent residents. But if you moved here from a different part of the country, different state, you would want to come in and find a primary care doctor, a dentist, any other specialists that you use where you are now.
And then there's another question about new residents coming to New Hampshire, finding a primary care physician. So certainly our wellness, our nurse practitioners, our wellness clinics are assisting people. We will get list of practices accepting new patients. We don't do direct referrals to doctors in the area, but certainly our affiliation, or many of our residents are affiliated with Exeter Hospital, which is about less than 15 minutes away from our campus. They have affiliations with Beth Israel Leahy in Boston, so really good connections to that. We also have Portsmouth Regional Hospital, which is about 25 minutes away, and then Wentworth, Mass General Brigham, Wentworth, Douglas, and Dover, which is a little bit further away. So residents looking for physicians, they would reach out and we would assist you in finding the locations of people accepting new practices in that case. Do you want to talk about, can you walk to the different buildings on campus, Chrissy? Would you like to answer that one?
Walk the different, oh yes, absolutely. Can you walk the different building to the different buildings on campus? Yeah, absolutely. We there's basically a half a mile between the Woods building and the Boulders building. You do have to cross over 111 to get from the Woods to the Ridge and the Boulders, but it's definitely very walkable. We often see residents walking for fitness throughout the mornings and afternoons, but also we see them walking if they're going to a meeting at another campus or another event. We also have our campus service shuttle. So for instance, if you wanted to have dinner or lunch in one of the other campuses and didn't want to walk, our shuttles would take you back and forth between the communities and campuses. But we also have a bike share program. So if you're interested in just grabbing a bike and riding over quickly to one of the other buildings, you're able to do that as well.
Perfect. Just a couple more things before we finish up today, and I apologize if we didn't get to your question, but again, certainly we're happy to answer questions at any time off the program here today. For more information, again, our RiverWoods Exeter website is rwexeter.org. So not riverwoodsexeter.org, but rwexeter.org, important to know. To learn more or to reach out to request more information, to schedule a consultation or tour with your senior living counselor, again, Chrissy, myself, or my colleague Lisa. Certainly we are busy doing tours, so the more advance notice you can give us, the better off it typically is, because we do have to reach out many times to current residents to show their apartments or cottages. And again, if you are interested in moving forward to join our waitlist, certainly we'd love to have you as a resident of our RiverWoods community. And then finally, we always like to end talking about our podcast. So we have the Seniority Authority podcast. This is done by our very own Kathleen Toomey, who is our VP of Marketing with RiverWoods. If you haven't seen one of our podcasts, I certainly would suggest you connect to find one. They are great presentations. She interviews leading physicians, researchers, scientists, really about what's new in aging and what aging is looking like going forward. So really small episodes to really learn a lot of information. Plus her energy, her enthusiasm for aging is unlike anyone else you'll ever find. So again, look for more of the podcast at Seniority Authority. She also will be on PBS from time to time, so you might catch her on your local public television network as well. But on behalf of Chrissy and myself, thank you very much for attending today's presentation. We hope you reach out to one of us or Lisa to schedule a tour or learn more about RiverWoods Exeter soon. Have a wonderful day.